Welcome back to the Datarekha audio guide. I'm Diya.
And I'm Arjun. Today, a protocol built for one strange moment. Your agent needs help from another agent. It has never met, can't see inside, and can't import.
Paint me that moment. When does it actually come up?
Say you built a trip planning agent. To finish a booking, it needs live currency conversion. And the best currency agent in the world lives at another company, on a different framework, behind a network boundary. You can't read its code. You can't peek at its memory. You don't even know its skills until you ask. That's the moment A2A, the agent-to-agent protocol, exists for.
And the obvious objection. Why not just call its function or wrap it as a tool with MCP?
Because there's no function to call. The one word that does all the work here is opaque. A2A's whole design principle is opaque execution. Two agents collaborate without exposing their internal logic, their memory, or their private tools. That single constraint is what turns this into a protocol instead of a function call, and it dictates every other choice.
Okay, that's a clean line versus MCP. MCP is your agent reaching down to its own tools. This is reaching across to a peer.
Exactly. And the spec is emphatic that they're not rivals, they're complementary. MCP runs vertically, agent to tools. A2A runs horizontally, agent to agent. A real system uses both, A to A between the agents and inside each agent, MCP for its own tools. Your travel agent uses MCP for its booking database. The currency agent uses MCP for its FX feed. A to A is just the wire between them.
So if I can't see inside it, how do I even know what it can do? Where does the conversation start?
With a business card. Literally, it's called the agent card. It's a JSO manifest the agent publishes at a well-known URL, /.wellknown/agentcard.jso. One plain HTTP GET and you've got it. It lists the agent's name, its service URL, the security it expects, and crucially a skills array. Each skill with an ID, a description, example invocations. That array is the menu you read to decide. Is this even the right agent for my job?
One small thing. You said agentcard.jso. I've seen agent.jso in older code.
Good catch and worth flagging. The current spec is agentcard.jso. The early drafts used agent.jso, and a lot of tooling still accepts the old name for backward compatibility. But write anything new against agent card. And by the way, the well-known URL is just the default discovery path. Enterprises also use curated registries you query by skill, or for tight systems, a hard-coded URL. Same card either way. Only how you find it changes.
Right, I've read the card, I picked a skill, now I send it work. Is that just a request and a response?
And here's the heart of it. A tool call is request, response, done. Synchronous, stateless. What you send in a 2A is a task, and a task is a stateful object with a lifecycle. It has an ID, a status, a context ID that groups related tasks, and the artifacts it eventually produces. It's alive. It moves through states.
What states?
The happy path is 3. Submitted, then working, then completed. But it can pause. It can hit input required, where it stops and waits for you to answer a question, and control passes back to you. And the ending can be failed, cancelled, or rejected instead. Here's the gotcha worth memorizing. Once a task is completed, or failed, or cancelled, it is terminal and immutable. You cannot reopen it.
Wait. So if the user asks a follow-up after it finished, I can't just append to that task.
No. You start a brand new task, but in the same context ID, and you link back to the old one with a field called reference taskIds, so the remote agent knows it's continuing the thread. And that's not bureaucracy. It's the point. It keeps an auditable, append-only history across an organizational boundary. When two companies' agents talk, nobody gets to silently edit the past.
That makes sense for a currency lookup, which is instant. But what about a task that takes an hour? render this 90-second video. I'm not holding my breath for an hour.
Right? And A2A gives the remote agent two ways to report progress. One is streaming over server-sent events. You open a stream, and the server pushes incremental updates and artifact chunks as they're ready. Fine for minutes. But holding a connection open for an hour is fragile. Networks drop. So the second way is push notifications. You register a webhook, and the remote agent calls you back with an HTTP post every time the task updates. No polling, no socket held open for an hour. And the agent card tells you up front which of these the agent even supports.
So the card isn't just a menu of skills. It's a menu of capabilities too. I check. Does it do push notifications before I commit to an hour-long job?
Exactly that. And notice the whole thing is built on deliberately boring, sturdy web tech. HTTP, JSORPC, server-sent events. Even auth is normal. The schemes are declared in the card and negotiated out of band. So credentials never go inside the A2A message itself. The 1.0 release even adds cryptographically signed cards. So you can verify who an agent is before trusting it across a trust boundary.
Let me try to land the real decision because all of this has a cost. It's a network hop, a contract, an auth dance. When is it worth it?
And you've put your finger on the entire test. Ask one question. Can I just call its function? If the subagent is your own code, same process, same framework, sharing state, then call the function or use MCP for a tool. A function beats a protocol every single time you're allowed to make one. You reach for a A2A only when the answer is no. A separate, independently deployed, opaque service, another team or vendor, across a network or trust boundary where you need standardized discovery, async task, semantics, and real auth.
So the one sentence is A2A is for every time you can't or shouldn't just call the function.
That's it exactly. That boundary. Can I call its function? Is the whole decision. A2A exists for every time the honest answer is no.
Clean, that's the Datarekha audio guide. See you in the next one.